Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be configuring a pair of Cisco Nexus 5548 UP switches. I got these switches off of eBay. I'm going to take a minute and just kind of explain a couple of things about these, because if you look at doing this yourself, there's some things you need to know. The first thing is that these switches come in kind of two flavors, and it's based on the daughter card that's installed in them. There are switches with just a layer 2 daughter card and switches with a layer 3 daughter card. The layer 2 daughter card doesn't support routing, right? So it's pretty much just switching, and you'll see a lot of the switches that have the FC features license installed will be this type without routing. And then the layer 3 daughter card gives you your basic routing features. And what I ended up having to do was I got a couple of switches that had the layer 2 card in them, and then I just bought the layer 3 modules separately. It turned out to be a better price that way at the point that I got these. And as far as licensing for the switching features, you don't need any license for just layer 2 switching. But for the layer 3 card, you need the LAN-based services license package. And that package is available from Cisco for free if it's not installed on the switches already, but you need a Cisco account to get to it. I'm not sure if just having an account will do it, or if your account has to be tied to support agreements that have these types of switches and things associated with it. But there is that. So if you have no access to Cisco's support, I would recommend that you find switches that already have the LAN-based services license installed on them from whatever seller they come from. Okay, so with all that said, we can start this process. I went through I cleared all the boot up stuff because it's just a bunch of junk in there. And right before this screen, on a clean install, it does, like, there's a power on automatic option that, like, will boot these configs from another device, and we're not using that, so we choose no to abort that. And then the default option next is, do you want to use secure passwords, and I choose yes for that, and then you're here. So you enter your passwords for your switches. We're going to do just one switch at a time in its entirety. Okay, we're going to do base configuration, no other login account. Yeah, we'll do alright. And these types of switches don't have a stack, right? So you've got an A side and a B side. I'm going to say no to out-of-band management because we're just going to keep configuring from the terminal. My out-of-band management ports, the E0Ms, I actually use those for the Peer keepalive link, because these are layer 3. We're going to have VLAN interface, IP interfaces on this, and we can hit those interfaces via SSH to manage it. So my management ports are actually connected together via an Ethernet cable for the Peer keepalive link. And there will be no default gateway on this is part of this is E0M stuff. So, like, default gateway for E0M. No telnet. You shouldn't be doing telnet these days. SSH service, yes. I choose RSA. Anything here is fine. No NTP at the moment. No NFC. We will actually touch NFC later on. I'm going to try to get a set of switches that are licensed for it, but if not, the features you can request a temporary license from Cisco that's like 90 days, and then you also have like 90 days worth of that feature given to you on the switches just for free if somebody else hasn't used it already. All right, so looking at this, we've got the switch name, no telnet, SSH, SNMP string. Okay, we don't want to edit the configuration. We're good. Okay. All right, so the messages you're seeing there are because 29 through 32 are the ports that I am using for the VPC Peer Link. And for those of you that don't know, VPC is virtual port channel. So if you're familiar with Cisco port channel, VPC takes that functionality and splits it across separate switches. So you create the port channel on your A side, you create it on the B side, and then you VPC them together. It is worth noting that I am not a Cisco CCNA, CCNP, CC anything. I know this stuff just as well as I need to know it for the things that I'm interested in, which is just supporting storage and virtualization infrastructure, because you can go a million miles deep in these things. It's a rabbit hole of technology all its own, and my focus is just to stay within the wheelhouse of things that I need to know to be able to configure these switches, to deploy them with the settings needed to work with storage and VMware, and some basic routing stuff. Like we're going to hit, we're going to do HSRP routing. So at this point, I'll do config and okay, so the management interface is on a VRF called management, and the other VRF is called default. And VRFs are isolated routing environments. So I can have this little 10.0, this mini 10.0.0 network on these management ports, and as long as I don't put anything else, any other 10.0.0 whatever on the management VRF, I keep any of that stuff on the default VRF. No issues with communication. They can't route between each other, but they're not going to cause IP conflicts. All right, so at this point, I want to, let's do a show. So these are the features. These are the features of the switch. And as you go through, you can enable these features. Anything that you don't have a license for, it will start a grace period timer for. And initially here, we're just going to do feature VPC. So we'll enable our VPC feature, and VPC domain, we'll do 10. All right, so So that's going to tell us 10002 is going to be over here, right? And it's going to give us our peer keep alive. You can do this here too. Okay, now for your switches to communicate, they need to be on the same VPC domain. So when this comes back, we will do okay. Okay, so now we can see domain ID peer is alive, peer link not configured. So that's going to be our next step is configuring our VPC peer links, and those. So all right, so I have them. So I have them right here. These are my peer links. Ethernet 129 to 32 for consistency. All right, so what we're going to do is in Nexus here we can configure an interface range. So here what I'm doing is it's anyway, to me it's good practice to make your channel group the number of the first interface within that group, right? Because you want to put everything on the same ports across these switches. Otherwise, you make it confusing. So we've got 29, so we'll make our channel group 29. We'll make our VPC 29. Well, you know, for the one for other ones, we're not going to VPC this. We're going to assign this as a VPC peer link. So channel 29 mode active. Well, feature LACP. go. Over here. Um, Okay, so now we've configured the interfaces with the details, and now we want to go into the port channel, and we'll probably just could have done that there instead of on the interface. Okay, now okay, and we are up. So as you can see, the peer adjacency is formed, the peer is alive, our port channel, our VPC Peer Link port channel status is up. And there it is. Alright, so I'm going to end this video here. In the next video, I'm actually going to take my my NetApp storage and my VMware hosts for the DR site and connect them to these switches, and then we will configure the VLANs, the VPCs for those devices, and routing for them, and kind of put those pieces all together. So that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching.